So I want to make another Silicorp video here today. Hopefully you watched the previous one and you recognize the bad lighting and the background. But this one is going to explain specifically on January 25th, on Monday, what's going on in the markets and why today is possibly one of the wildest days that I've experienced in my relatively short, few years in the markets. If you've been following along at all, you've noticed that Gamestop, which was $4 about 9 months ago, is now trading at $140 before it was halted again. This is very similar to what happened to Tilray several years ago, where the stock IPO'd at 17, went its way up to about, 70, 80 bucks, I believe, and then skyrocketed to $300 before getting halted and crashing back at 120, and then again ending up now down about 99% of its peak. But not only is it just specific to GameStop, but we're seeing it happen to heavily short interest names. It can be debated what's actually causing these moves, but what can't be debated is the fact that there are a group of investors out there, maybe it's Wall Street Bets and other sites on Reddit and so forth, who are sort of taking control of these high short interest names by buying out of the money calls and stock, forcing market makers to cover their call positions by buying the stock at, frankly, again, the market price. And what's happening, because these short interest names are so heavily shorted, I believe GameStop was over 90%, it's causing a massive short squeeze. So we've seen this in GameStop mostly over the last week, where it went from about 30 bucks to again up to 140 before being halted. But now today, BlackBerry, heavily short interest name, up 30%. Bed Bath & Beyond, up 54%. Now again, I'm filming this midday. These prices are going to fluctuate rapidly. This morning the Nasdaq was up 1.2%, and then in the afternoon it was down almost 1%. And now it's recovered a bit. So very wild day in the markets, hence why I'm making this video. But what's going on is that people are attacking these high short interest names, forcing the market makers to cover their shorts. And again, they're doing that by buying a vast amount of out of the money call options. Again, we've seen this with Tesla a lot. Massive out of the money call buying, forcing those people who write the calls to then buy the stock to hedge. Again, now we're seeing it though, except we're seeing it from Redditors who are probably, aged 18 to 30, do it, which is quite insane, watching sort of Main Street take over Wall Street in some of these cases. But that's what's going on today, is a massive short squeeze in some of these names. GameStop was just halted this afternoon once again, and it's absolute insanity. So if you're someone who's short a stock, for example, especially a stock that's only like $5 a share, and you're seeing what's going on in GameStop, you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't want to get GameStopped. I don't want to get stopped out. I need to buy the stock. And frankly, the risk reward just sounds horrendous. So again, that's what's going on. Who knows how long this will last, but this is very similar to what happened to Tilray. So we'll see. Again, GameStop, just before making this video, is now only $85 a share, only 85. We'll see if this is a Tilray moment where it's parabolic, from morning to midday, and then just crashes as the stock gets halted, as liquidity dries up. The difference with obviously the two companies is that Tilray was a high-flying pod stock with a very low float, and it recently IPO'd. GameStop's been around forever. Much larger float, much bigger company. So, anyways, yes, that's what's going on today. A massive short squeeze caused by a bunch of Redditors and other retail investors hopping on, and it's absolutely crazy. So we'll see what happens, but that's the price action today. So no investment advice once again, no investment advice and no judgment today. So good luck out there.